Welcome to Oh Brother, a podcast of two brothers trying to figure it all out. With your hosts, Brandon and Collin. On this week's show, the room is the instrument. Ahoy!
Ahoy!
Ahoy! How is it?
It is. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, wonderful. Hey, I like this energy we're bringing in. Yes. Hey.
That was pretty good. I don't know. How are you?
I am well. I am more on the road to recovery. I don't feel like I sound as nasally or as congested, but maybe that's just me and my bias against me.
You're willing yourself to be better.
Yeah, admonishing myself to be better. But I did. I went and had somebody say, "Oh." So I was going around. I was just saying hi to businesses and stuff as I do, and just hey, what's going on and how are things, blah blah. And I went into this. It's a one of those cryo freezing therapy places, right? Have you seen these?
I don't know.
Where you
I've heard the name, but I have no actual contextual knowledge of what happens there.
Yes.
Right?
So
I know that it exists, but I don't know why.
yes. Same. I have no idea what happened in one of these. I just heard cryo facials or cryo treatments. But I ended up going in just saying hi to these people and figured, it's be interesting. So I did, and as I'm talking to them, they go, "Oh, and we have this thing for we use this for our facials. Also, we can use these for sinus pressure." And I was like, "Really?
Tell me more."
Tell me more, because I has a little bit of sinus pressure.
I think that's probably why they mentioned it. They could tell.
They could hear. They could just see the pain in my face, and they're like, "Ugh." So I did try this. I went. I finished up the visit, and then I went back and I did other stuff. And then I was like, I should probably just go see what this is like. It was only because I was a new client or whatever, they were giving a special discount on it. I was like, okay, I don't have a whole lot to lose, and if it does end up helping me, I'll be very,
excited,
happy as it would portend. So I did do this. I sat down in the chair. The chair is heated. They recline you back. They set a heated pad around your shoulders and your neck. And then they pull this.
Is that because they're going to freeze you to death and they need to balance it out?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And the lady doing this was like, I do this. She said, I started this because I forget what she said she had, but she goes, but I still haven't gotten used to the treatments because I hate the cold. And I was like, oh, well, that's a fun thing to say to somebody who's never done this.
What
before.
A selling point for a person.
Wow.
Just said that.
Yeah.
Marketing.
Oh my gosh. And so she wheeled over this cart, and it had what I believe to have been I don't know, liquid nitrogen or something in it, something really, really
something similar. Yeah.
Yes. Very cold in this tank. And she had this punched a bunch of buttons, and then she had this little handheld gun thing that when she would press it, it would shoot out this blast of air, and it was so cold that you could see you could see it, right? So and it must have been, it wasn't nitrogen. What would it have been? Anyway, and then she starts wanding this over my face. So she gets about 6 to 8 inches away from my face, and she just starts wanding this over, and it's like a directed blast of cold air hitting you in the face. And she just goes over the sinuses and goes all over the face, does it on the scalp, and then she comes back to it. And then, it's real cold. She did say, some people don't like it for very long. So raise your hand if you want me to stop. And then also every time that she was trying to ask me questions and talk to me while I was doing this, which was fun.
Yeah,
But every time she would do that, she's also wanding this thing over, and it takes your breath away to the point like you can't talk. It's so cold. And I also believe because of the gas that it's using sucks the oxygen away from you. So
possibly.
Yeah, she'd ask this question and I'd be like, oh, terrible. And there was like a little massage thing with it that went well. Anyway, so she did that. And then she said, now, here are some tissues for your car ride home, because as you start to warm up and open up, you'll get a bunch of release. And I did. It worked quite well. So I can endorse this as a thing if you want to go get your face frozen.
Wow.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. It felt very weird. Like whenever you've got really stuffed up sinuses and a lot of pressure, and then it starts to like, this is really gross, but like break loose. You can kind of feel feel that happening. Now imagine that, but like amplified because it was really cold, and now because it's warming up, it's now going through that process a little bit more of an escalated pace. So it was
That's true. Do you think it has something to do with the like contraction and expansion, right? Because as you think like the cells in your sinuses, like as they're getting cold, they're like shrinking, right?
Yes.
This is how, and then they would start warming up, and they expand, and then like start releasing stuff.
Yeah, I think she didn't actually, it didn't get cold enough to actually, freeze.
I mean, not like freeze, but they, like whenever things get cold, they contract.
Yes.
Right. And then when they heat, they expand. I don't know if that is a fact in like faces, right? Or if that's just like, or am I just describing metal fatigue? That might be it. But
yeah, same thing for most people. But no, because one of the treatments for inflamed sinuses and sinus pain is like alternating hot and cold, not just doing all hot compresses or cold.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Like, it is alternating them in sequences. So this kind of takes this to an extreme where you're going to keep it cold, and the treatment was like 25 minutes long. So it was like a prolonged thing. And then you step out and everything's going to be warmer than what you just experienced.
Yes,
so it's true. Kind of this, and then you get this slow warm up over time. And so it felt really weird, but also good. So that was my interesting medical adventure this week. And so I can say that I got to try cryotherapy before Megan did, and she's she's not jealous this time. Actually, it turns out.
Yeah, I was gonna say this sounds like the exact kind of thing she would not want to go do, because cryo and Megan don't really mix together well at all. Actually, this is a terrible pairing.
As a matter of fact, her only question to me was, do they have a sauna?
Yes. It's the opposite of cryotherapy. Yes. Do they have?
But it turns out they do. So, because a lot of people will go and do like a cryo treatment and then go sit in a sauna, or sit in sauna and do a cryo treatment. Like, again, doing this alternating kind of thing. So this is
just how the Finnish people sauna.
Yes.
Right? This is like the sit in the sauna, jump in the lake thing. Right? That's basically what this is.
This is exactly what this is.
You just see where they go. The Finnish people are looking at cryotherapy going, bro.
Yeah.
This is just a Tuesday. Come on, let's go.
Like, don't they have a lake they can go jump in? Like, what is this?
Yeah, cryotherapy is the lake. And you go to the sauna lake, right? That's the thing you do.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You run back. So, I mean, until we can get, I mean, our winter has been very odd so far. It's been very, very warm and rainy up here.
Yeah.
Thanks, very so. No frozen lakes yet.
Which is mostly just like damp, right? It's been very damp, cold.
Yes.
Not like cold, but like just cold enough to be like annoying with the dampness, right? And I think that's why literally everyone I know is having sinus congestion currently, right? Like, Susan's is still going strong, right? Like, mine is mostly gone, but it's like still there, just a little bit to be annoying, right? Like every person at school, like,
yes. Oh, yeah. Well, then I've heard a lot of mystery. I don't know. Do you guys have the like stomach bug going around your school? I've actually had several staff members who have had to take time away to deal with to take care of their kids because they random stomach bug going around their schools.
Not in the 6th grade. Anyway,
Okay.
I don't know about other places. This week I've been very like insular, so I don't know. Haven't been out and about. So I don't know exactly. I know our secretary was not feeling well this week. I don't know if that's related or not, but she was gone some days. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. It was play practice week for Christmas program, winter program, technically, right?
Okay.
It was just a winter program. So there was a lot of that. So we didn't get a lot of like actual schooling accomplished because we had to take all this. They had to go rehearse and stuff. So I don't really know. I did not get out and about and go do things. So I don't know. Because I usually keep all of the band kids just in the classroom because 5th and 6th grade they have band, right? And so if you're in band in 5th and 6th grade, you are not in the music class. You don't have like choral music.
Yes.
Right. And so when they practice for the choral program, the band kids have nowhere to go. Right. So the two options are have them go sit in the auditorium in the bleachers while everyone else is practicing, or they can stay in my classroom.
Right.
One of those is a lot more manageable than the other one. Right. Like,
yeah, one makes a tiny bit more sense. Really.
Yeah, because one they have to like sit silently, not speak, and the other one they can just like do activities and just be. So we went with that one, for sanity reasons, and then we.
Nice.
So yeah, so that was basically my week. Ready for the winter program, which was Thursday, which is why I couldn't do Thursday. It was Thursday night.
How was it?
It was pretty good, actually. Right? It was pretty good. They did a good job. There was several like unintentionally hilarious moments. Like one of the speaking parts, like one of my students was like paired up with like a 3rd grader for like a speaking moment, and the height difference is approximately 3 feet. And so they had to like,
yeah,
he was like punching down to try to sing at the same time.
Oh no!
It was really funny. Like, and then like some other stuff, right? And I was telling the kids, right, a little insight into my brain. Okay, so the premise of the program is that there is an inn. Okay, there's an inn in the unspecified North Country.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
And they're gearing up for the winter season. Yes, and they're getting the inn ready, and guests have come, but it's not winter yet. Old Man Winter has not arrived to bring any snow to the North Country Inn. So what are we going to do? Because the inn specializes in snow-based activities.
Indeed.
And so all these poor kids are up on stage, like fully bundled winter gear. Under the stage lights. And I was like, oh no, they're going to melt. I don't know. How are they going to survive this?
Oh, that sounds terrible.
It was some of the kids would come out and be like, oh, that's got to be horrible for you. Poor little guy. Like, got a hat and scarf and coat on up on the stage under the lights. Like, oh no.
Oh no.
Are you okay?
Yeah. How long was the program?
It was like 30 minutes, right? Not very long.
Okay.
But then, like, yes, we have worries and we're fretting and there's tribulations. And then, the guests are arriving. But then the last guest to arrive is Old Man Winter, and the snow begins to fall, and the winter season of the inn is saved. Hooray.
Right.
But because, again, So it's the basic premise of the outline here, because my brain is the way it is. I was sitting there watching this, right? And I'm looking at all of the people in the cast as in staff, right? Just owners, and there's just a bunch of random people with like brooms and stuff, right? There's like a whole bunch of them. And then as the guests come, I'm noticing that there's more staff than guests.
Oh.
And I'm going like, well, this is just fiscally irresponsible. How is this inn planning to stay in business if they have more people on staff than they do guests?
Right. What are the economics of this? Come on.
What are the economics of? Now, I decided in my brain, my headcanon is now officially, since this is opening weekend, these are only the first guests. And so we're assuming there will be more coming, right?
Yeah.
After, like, curtain closes on the play, but like in a magical land, right? The season will now continue, and there will more guests shall arrive because the snow is now here, right? So more will come. So I feel like it's fine, but just like at the beginning, it's like, oh no, there's like 12 staff and like 9 guests. What's going on?
Yeah. Oh no.
I thought that was funny. That's not an important part of the play, but I thought it was
right. Are you sure? Sounds like it's pretty important.
I mean, maybe that's why they're so worried about staying open, right? Like they need.
Yeah. They gotta do what they can. They're overstaffed. Fourth season. Maybe it'll pick up. Maybe that's what it says.
That's true. That's what I'm thinking. Like once Old Man Winter has come, right?
Yeah.
Probably more guests will come. You know, because we're never told how big the inn is. There might be more rooms than we think, right? So it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's okay. But these are the very helpful thoughts I was thinking while watching this children's play about snow. So that's what I was. Other than, oh man, those people must be dying of heat exhaustion right now because they're in fully bundled winter gear on a stage
right.
with all the stage lights shining on them.
Ugh, that sounds not fun at all.
It does sound quite unpleasant, but you know, it was short program, so they could get the jackets off again,
sure,
be free to roam about. Hopefully, get some water, hydrate a little bit, right? Get some,
yeah. Sit in front of a fan.
Yeah. Like, where's the actual snow? I need some relief here. I
take an ice
hat on inside. It's terrible.
Yeah. Did they just do? Did they have one performance? Did they had a couple different performances?
No, it was just one because it's just the 3rd through 6th grade, so they just have one. It's a one night only event.
Oh, right? Must see.
Yeah. So they split it up. So like this one, they used to alternate it, but now I think they just do it the same all the time. So this one is like 3rd through 6th, and then in the springtime there will be like a K2 program, right, for the smaller children. So that way they can split it up. That's the one that's like, that one sounds terrifying. I'm glad I don't have to go to that one. I don't. It's well documented. I am afraid of first graders, right? Too many first graders are terrifying, so I run away. So I don't
walk the other direction.
So yeah, that's been mostly my week. Attempting to navigate play practice, and then try to figure out like, oh, I have no time left before Christmas break. What? How far are we getting in school? What's gonna happen?
Oh, no.
I don't know. I take a very like laissez-faire approach to this, right? I'm not super interested in just making sure that we end a unit before Christmas break.
Okay.
I don't care. Like, we're going to go to wherever we are, and that'll be it. And then when we come back, we'll just sort of pick up and just keep going, and it'll be fine. I don't care that much.
Right.
It is nice to find like a moderately good stopping point, but yeah, whatever. I don't. It's fine. We can. do whatever. But it's still sort of annoying to be like, huh, how far are we going to be? What do I have to do before this? So it's just sort of like figuring out like what's actually happening, right? Again, I don't care too much because I'm not going to be like, oh my gosh, I have to have this unit done before break. And like, nah, it's fine. It doesn't matter. But it's still kind of like, okay, we have this many days. I got these things coming up. Where am I? And because I do have some things that are like multiple days, like the like we, especially in like my afternoon class, right? Like we work on them for like multiple days in a row,
Yeah.
like assignments or presentations or something like that. So I got to see like, okay, where are we going to be with those things? Like, we got to make sure we finish all multi-day assignments.
Right, because that would be a bad time to stop, right? Just to be in the middle of that.
It'd be a very bad time to stop. Like, you start working on a presentation for 2 days, leave for like 2.5 weeks, and then come back again. What? Where am I? What's happening?
Yeah, what's going on?
So that would be bad, but we'll get it figured out.
Okay. Oh,
and then all these other mystery things like, when are my grades actually due?
Oh, jeez.
I don't know. Making like rounding up missing things from people. Like,
okay.
Come here. Give me where have you been? Not coming in to see me with your missing assignment. Get over, like trying to scrape up those things, right? Like, I just have a couple, right? They're actually pretty good this year about that. I only have a few that are missing things, so I just need to round them. But I also have a few that have been missing things for a long time, and they are avoiding me.
Oh no!
Like, you need to come in. They're like, okay, leave. Like, what? I mean, I don't care. I'll put a 0 in there. There's already a 0 in there, actually, so that's fine. But no, that it doesn't have to be. Get back in here. So trying to round these things up is the main focus currently, and just trying to get everything in a manageable state, right? That's happening. So it's a bit weird. It's a bit of an odd place, but we're managing. I think we're managing.
Yeah, well, and I think really it's just important to know or go just get your hands around, right? Like you said, kind of like where we are, what's the sequence of things, what do we have coming up? Just doing that pulse check really helps set the tone for, not that you're trying to meet any deadlines like you said, but just like, okay, like where are we right now?
Yeah, right. Like what's happening. And then I have excuse me, like we did just finish up a project, right? We have the new project, like our monthly tasks, right? Our little monthly side quests, right? They're going pretty well.
Okay. Yeah.
We finished up one of those, started our new one, right? I'm trying to make this, I made sure this one was like pretty low key, like, December-y, but like not a ton of things involved. We're not building anything this month because we just need to pick up things and get organized in our life.
Yes.
But so we have that going. So that again gives them something to work on, like in the interim time. Like if they, that way we can kind of have multiple things going so that we can, these people can work on this, these people can work on that because they're done. They can do other things.
Sure.
So it's just a balancing act. It's like, like we're managing, right? It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything is fine.
Yeah.
This unit was just hard because we had we already had Thanksgiving break up the middle of it, and then we had a week of like choir performance. And so I'm like, I have to give a quiz somewhere in here. When is this gonna happen? So Tuesday is the answer. Spoilers.
Oh jeez. Surprise.
Yeah. Well, we did again. This is always the fun part too, right? We talked about it all week. Okay, I told them at the beginning of the week, here is the plan. And then the next day I told them, here is the plan for the rest of the week. Right. And I said, like, Wednesday, we're going to do like a bunch of review stuff. Okay. And then Thursday was washed because that was like the performance day. So they were practicing in the morning. So no science Thursday. Then Friday will be doing stuff and giving study guides. Right. That way we can have Monday, another review day, go over stuff, review, study the guide, if you will.
Yes.
And then and then
One
we'll
night.
have quiz Tuesday. Right. And still there's always still like 3 people that are like, huh?
What?
We have a quiz? Like what?
You never said this. When did we talk?
Like I said it every single day. What are you talking about?
Jeez.
Every time. Like here's the plan for your week. Excruciating detail about how things are gonna go. And huh? What do you mean we got a quiz? We always
surprise.
Have a quiz. We always do. We always have. There's a pattern to how this works. And the fact that you haven't picked up on this pattern by now is mildly distressing. All right, I'm not gonna lie. Like it's okay. The fact that this semester is over and you haven't figured out that we have like unit and then review, study guide, review, quiz. That fact that you have done this step many times,
right?
It like completely bamboozles you when it happens. is upsetting.
Right. Well, yeah, that's frustrating.
Not upsetting, but it's just like, come on, what really? Like,
I thought, no, okay, fine. I guess it's fine.
Thought maybe you would have picked up on something by now.
Oh. Well, hopefully next semester for the win. That's what that is, right?
We'll see how it goes. It's hard to tell with 6th graders, right? Like, no, we're learning to be people, so it's hard. It's a struggle, it's hard.
Understood. Oh, well, we this week has been very busy for us since we last spoke.
Yeah, it sounds like
it's been
the season.
Yeah, it is. It's the season, and then just like there's just stuff to do also to like into the year. So like since we've last spoken, I last did that. I like just all these end of the year meetings and like networking events and or in-person interviews or gosh, we did a like the library had a Christmas card making thing that we wanted to go to. We had a birthday party. My highlight was getting to go see Handel's Messiah performed live with an organ backing
it.
Yes.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, and they do the whole thing. It's the whole production.
Oh my. Okay.
So what they do?
That's a big one.
Yeah, it is. So what they do is, and it's hosted here in town, and they pull. It's kind of neat. It's who sponsors this? The Foundation of the Arts or something like that. I forget what the actual title is, but they get a grant to put this together, and it's kind of this ongoing every year. They pick one of the larger churches that has the big seating for the choir and a pit for the orchestra, and has a
organ.
Very important for this. Very important people.
The key ingredient here.
The key ingredient. And then they pull from like churches and choirs from all over the area. Like people come people come in from 2 to 3 hours away to come be a part of this. So they build the choir. We have a symphony here locally. So they provide the music, and then the organist goes to town and goes crazy, and they play all of the movements, all of the pieces, and then obviously end with the Hallelujah chorus. But boy howdy, let me tell you, when they get the little, I forget her name, it's just the little lady pumping away on the organ, really fills you with the Christmas cheer hearing that organ. Be like, wow, it's great.
Oh yeah, that's
amazing.
Yeah, that's a unfortunately, right? Because of like just logistical reasons. Uh like, you don't get to hear a good organ very often, right?
No.
Like it's very kinda sad, right? Because I think that's sweet. Like when you have like a really big one, right? And then a person that actually knows how to play the organ, which is the other key ingredient here, because it's very hard. It's an extremely difficult thing to
Yes.
do, right? It's not just like a piano, okay? Like it's not right. It's there's a lot more moving parts and buttons and pedals and all kinds of stuff, right? You got the whole thing. So it's you don't get to hear a good organ, right? And it's different. It is different. Like so, there's a like a so you can like so there's a difference between like hearing the recorded organ and being in the room with an organ also, right? Because you can hear it. Like there's lots of Christmas recordings that have organ, right? And it's cool
Oh.
and it sounds awesome and it sounds nice. But when you're in the room with an organ, because the organ is designed for the room to be the instrument, right?
Mm-hmm.
You like literally get punched in the face with organ.
Yes.
Right? Like you get like that thing will move so much air that you can like feel it.
Yeah. At
And
one point,
it's weird and I don't really have good words to describe this feeling, but like you
no.
can feel the air around you moving, and that's the organ experience, man.
Yeah.
It's like whoa.
Yeah. At one point, I turned to Lillian and I was like, "Do you feel that?" She was like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "That's the organ." Because yeah, you don't get to experience that again. It's out of fashion. It's not a cool thing. They're hard to upkeep. They're quite costly. Having somebody who can play them well is very difficult as well. So
You have to
just
have a
like you said,
place to put it,
yeah,
right? Like it is the room,
it
right? Like it
is. Yeah, you don't walk into a room. I don't. Okay, yeah, you don't walk into a room and go, "Huh, where's the organ?" It's very obvious where it is, right?
yeah, it's like bomp, there it is.
Mhm. So to have it to be in person with one for a piece that was written not for it but you using it, and it was of the time when they were
Yeah.
cool,
Well,
playing.
sometimes for it too, right? Like not in that case, but yeah, like
Yes, it's not like this is an organ piece, but also like the organ that kind of makes the piece. I'll put it that
yeah.
way.
Yes.
It's very very fun. So I was very thankful that we got time to go do that. Um, it was it was almost 2 hours long.
Ooh,
So it's a lengthy one, but
yeah.
it's well worth it. Well worth it for that. So yeah, we did that, and then what did well? We did our staff lunches this week. So that was
Ah.
fun, getting all of our staff together and say hi and you know camaraderie stuff. And I'm always like, like how do I, I have to really play host and like because they never see each other, right? It's like,
Oh, that's
oh,
true. Yeah.
I only see your name and a written text ever on an app. I never see you actually face to face or know what you look like. So like, oh, that's right. Like you've all been working here for 6, 7, 8 months, but you don't know anybody. So here they are. Welcome.
Yeah, that is a kind of a weird, right? I know you've talked about it before a little bit how odd it is because you do have like all these staff members, but like they don't work together,
Yeah.
right? So it's like it's a little bit strange. Did they appreciate getting to see each other? Like, do you think they enjoyed this? Do
So
you think
yeah.
it
So
was
this
good
was
for
a
them to be like, more people?
yes. Well, this was a
Here's the staff.
Yes, and I do think that some of them greatly appreciated that aspect. Others were just interested in the free food and whatever, and that's fine. But like,
that's fine too. But like,
I do feel like, especially some very specific ones who are more quiet and shy, I appreciated getting to see everybody because it is hard because we try and harp on a lot of things like, look, your one visit that you do on a Tuesday is part of a collective of 33 other visits, right, that are going to go on, and you're only doing a fifth of them. And so it's hard for people to kind of wrap their brains around that kind of scale and what exactly is happening. And so I think that was important too, of like, look, all of these people are working on the same stuff that you are. And you should like them because they do their best to help you, and you need to do your best to help them, right? And kind of, I guess the other thing that it does is, we hope at least, kind of humanized these other people so that they aren't just a little faceless name and
the name on the old clipboard, right? Like,
yes, that they can actually go, oh, right, when, you know, so and so asked for help that one time, and I, you know, that's who this is, and, you know, blah blah blah. So I don't know. I think they enjoyed it, and it was kind of neat to see people make organic connections, you know, even though like, oh, because like someone was asking like for what were they asking? All of a sudden I kind of tuned into a little conversation that was happening, and they were like, so when you get your they're talking about getting septum piercings or whatever, right?
Oh yeah.
And I was like, because one of them had one and one of them wanted to get one. And we're like, I was like, okay, well, look at that. Look what we help facilitate.
So
that
now they know
right
a person who has experience. Look at that. Bam. Got him.
Yes. So that was good. Getting to see everybody together, and it's still a weird dynamic, and I'm still not adept at managing that. And I have to remind myself that, like, while it is important that we obviously have like a workplace culture that is healthy and inclusive of everybody and welcoming to them and supportive of everybody, their happiness, like, I it's kind of weird to say, but like, I am not at uh responsible for their happiness at the end of the day, but I am at the same token. Does that make like if they are, as long as they are happy working for us, that's one thing. But if they are trying to gain happiness, gain identity from working for us, that is beyond my scope and control.
Oh, okay, yeah.
As a business, right? Like, like I obviously need to make sure that they aren't happy. I'm not saying that's not our job, but I am saying that if they are trying to gain happiness through us, that's above my pay grade, right? Of like nurturing that aspect of it.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That's it. Yeah, that is kind of a weird situation, right? And thing to try to deal with. I can see, yes, I can see why that would cause you distress.
Right. And so, because I don't, like, again, like we want to make sure that they do feel warm and welcome and everything. There are people, and we have encountered people who have basically been like, I was hoping this would fill a void in my life.
Yeah.
And it's like, like that's pressure that, like, it's not like, that's not what we're here for. Like, like I can't do anything about how you are, the personal things you're trying to get out of this job, kind of thing, right? I'm probably not explaining this well. It's just a thought that I had the other day.
No, I mean, that makes sense if you're looking for like, because some jobs you have like, you work really closely with other people, right? And you have like the work camaraderie, right? And that kind of thing, right? If you're looking for that, that's a difficult thing to have in your situation, right? Like,
yes,
if you're looking for like an outlet to have that, if you want like work friends and you want like that kind of work environment, like a little difficult when you never see each other, right? Like, so I can see kind of where they might be thinking about that.
Yeah. So that was just a reminder of like, look, we can do all that we can and continue to communicate with people and see, you know, are they getting what they need out of this, or are they needing something that we just can't provide at the end of the day? And knowing that, like, okay, like, we can't be all things to all people. But it was a good time to all get together and just talk, and then see kind of how we all have some things in common. We all take care of some of the same pets. So it was like, aha, look at all of you. You can talk about this pet. Look, talk about them. An immediate connection.
That's true. You gotta have some. You gotta find. You have to start from a place of commonality, right? Like that's how you like. So building this. Okay, so well, let me organize my thoughts here just real quick.
Sure.
Right? Like when you're trying to like build new relationships with people, right? It definitely helps when you start with a common base, right? So like septum piercing people, right? That is a shared interest, right? And so if they talk about that thing, right, then just as conversations do happen, right, it could transpire that they find more common interests and then grow closer together, like as like friends, right? You know what I mean? So like if you start a conversation about like, Princess the cat, right? And you both know Princess the cat or whatever, then that's like the conversation base. And then you can, as your kind of conversation moves around, you might find that there's other commonalities involved, right? This is what listeners, pro tip. Okay. This is why, okay, when you're going on like first dates and stuff, right? Good idea. Movie first, then dinner, right? Boom. Okay. Boom. That's what you get. So you meet and you talk a little bit in line of the movie. You watch the movie together. Go to dinner. You can talk about the movie, and then your conversation can grow from there. But you have a starting place because it's real awkward if you go sit with somebody and you're like, "So, how about this fork?" Right? Like that's not really a good place to start.
I don't know. If there are fork enthusiasts,
there might be, right? There may be a cutlery collector. That was harder to say than I anticipated.
It's okay. You want a great job. Great job.
Right. So this is pro tip for all you young listeners out there, right? That's pro tip. You want to do activity. It doesn't have to be a movie, right? But activity, and then like go eat, right? Because then when you're eating, it's like more quiet and you can sit, right? And then there you go. That's my pro strat for today. There you go. Welcome. It was free.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I think just with anything of finding that commonality, and I think that's where people can get. They may get frustrated or turned off by like, oh, like, is that all we're going to talk about? Like, we're just going to talk about the weather right now. We're just going to talk about this thing. It's like, well, no, but we do need to start somewhere. Like, I do need to start getting a sense for like who you are, what your thoughts on things, how you process things, and then we can branch into other things. And that's part of learning about who somebody is. Right. And so that you can go, okay, well, we've covered basics. The next step, okay, now we can talk about more things. Okay, now we can talk about more things. And then along that way, you're becoming more comfortable with this person as a person, right? And this goes for the dating relationship advice, or like just trying to build a new friendship, or working
like
with
coworker advice. Yeah,
coworker, right? Like exactly. Going, well, I now can have more interactions with this person, and sometimes, especially with coworkers, like, okay, we have peaked at what we are going to talk about, and that's fine for a lot of instances. But at least you have some connection points with that person, and it is important, and it is also hard to find those, because it can feel like when you just walk up to somebody, it's like, my goodness, of the possible topics I could talk about right now, like, where do I start? Well, start simple, right? And work your way up.
Yeah, it's true, right? You could talk about your shared love of the Oh Brother podcast, right? Boom. That's the conversation starter that everyone needs in their life.
Everyone needs. Everyone needs. Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
Because this happens whenever I go to like business networking events, right? It's like it's the questions that people always get annoyed about, of like, oh, they always ask me what I do. It's like, Well, but yet you're at a networking event. Like, what do you expect them to ask
I
you
mean, that's a good
about?
point, right?
Like,
If you go to a business network event and you get annoyed with somebody asking you what your job is, I feel like mistakes have been made, right? Like
yeah,
what were
yeah,
your expectations exactly?
exactly, exactly.
Like,
And I know
my guy, what are you doing?
it can seem trite or superficial to come up and say, "So, what do you do?" Right? But at the same
Yeah,
time, that person is there for that reason. Like they're there to network. So they kind of want to be talked about what they do. And it's a great in of like, well, look, you were at a business networking event. I assume you have something to do with a business or something. Like, let's talk about that.
yeah,
Again, finding that point of commonality and then branching from there.
yes, that's true. And you got because you never know, right? It might be like, oh, hey, you know, know that about that, or I used to do that thing, or oh, I tell me more because I don't know about this, right? You gotta start somewhere, right? And it is hard because conversation starters, they are all lame, right?
Yes.
As as a teacher who has
Oh.
experienced back to school meetings on several occasions,
Uh-huh.
they can be quite horrid, right? Like they are sometimes when they plan them out, right? Like I don't really know what goes through the minds of people that plan these things, right? I like that these are the things they're trying to accomplish, right? You can tell what they're doing, but like some of the things they pick, like oh my, why? Like we always have to do the thing where you like stand against the wall, right? And then you like they'll just ask series of like random questions and you like step forward if it applies to you, right? Like
Oh,
those kind of
yeah.
things, like who loves I don't know, cookies, whatever, I don't know, I don't remember what they are. Things like that, right? And so you do that, and then there's always something where they like give you a number and you have to go sit with the people of the same number,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then there's some sort of sometimes it's like a task. Sometimes it's like a game that you have to play, right? Those are varying degrees of weird, right? Sometimes they're icebreaker games. Those are not good. Uh this year it was one about like okay, I don't remember what the game was called, but it was basically like there were it was like a dice game, okay? Where you would throw the dice and then like the number you did a thing, except for plot twist, the dice were actually pig.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know either. I they were like little toy pigs, and you would throw the pig dice, and when they landed in certain configurations, you got X number of points, and then the winner of the pig dice game got to keep the pig dice. There you go. That was our icebreaker thing. But like
That is certainly a thing to do. Yes.
yeah, it might be called Pass the Pig. That could be what's that. I just
Oh.
googled pig dice game, and so
Oh.
that's a deleting that from my search history immediately,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Google's gonna just
Yeah.
send me this kind of
You're
stuff all the time, but it could have been called Pass the Pig, right? I intentionally did not win this game because I was not taking this home with me, right? That would be terrible.
oh, well, you could have
Uh
left it at school. That could have been something you could do.
yeah, no. Uh
Oh.
but yeah, so this is the goal. This is the plan, right? You want to like now you have a shared experience, right? Of
Yeah.
hating the pig dice game. I don't know, but you like,
Sure.
and now you can like because like our you know the school is similar to this, right? Like I don't ever talk to the first grade teachers
Sure.
ever, right? Like I don't see them. They're located nowhere near me. I don't have any reason to interact with them at all. So like I work in the same building with them, and I've worked with some of them for like years, but like I don't really like know them. You know what I mean? Like we don't like hang out and like talk stuff, right? Like just because of the geographical distance, right? It's a problem. So that's why they do these things, right? They're lame and silly, and I don't love them. And like, can you just give me some cookies and put me at a table with somebody? That's fine with me. I'm good with that. But like, I don't want to play Pass Pig. Yeah, I don't want to play Pig Dice Game.
Need to go.
But yeah, it's a similar problem, even though we work in the same building, right? Like, and I see them, but like, if I do see them, it's because I'm on my way somewhere and I have just happened to pass by them. And like, I don't, they're busy. I'm busy. I can't be like, yo, what's up? How's it? Like, you know what I mean? I can't have those conversations right then because there's no time during the day. There's children that must be shepherded and herded in a certain direction.
Work to be done. Yeah. And so
coffee to be found, right?
Most importantly. But those are those times where when you do have those moments, it's, you know, oh gosh, I got to ask about, you know, whatever, or make small talk. But small talk is important. Like it does, it's an attempt, right, at connecting with somebody, I guess, right, and it can lead to other things, and at least a better understanding of that person. So yeah, getting to see that happen at the tables this week was fun, and we were like, oh yay, look, good job everybody, good job. Yeah. Oh goodness. So yeah, and then I went to a breakfast at hosted by it was again this business networking thing. It was hosted by Bass Pro Shops. And yeah.
There we go.
Yes. So they did
hello, former employer.
I did today? And you know, one thing that I will say about when I think about in the terms of like business and stuff, like Bass Pro Shop at least has like a wow experience for customers who are just trying to buy a flannel, right? Like, just think about this of like, they just come in, they want a flannel, they want a rod, and they want some boots, or maybe like, I don't know, like a shoulder strap or something. Yeah. And it's like,
there's like a goat. There's like a mountain goat on the boot rack. You're like, you're
walking under at least in the Springfield store, you know, the ceiling, it's the underside of a lake. So you see the little feet of the ducks and the boat and the ripples and the fish that are going around stuff. It's like, it is a crazy experience when you really think about it in the context of like, you could go shop at Kohl's for a flannel, or Bass Pro.
You could buy a flannel and see ducks at the same time.
Yeah, and walk by a live alligator and be like, yeah, here you go.
Yeah.
So it just
Al remember you. He's like, yo, what's up? How's it going?
It just takes the whole like customer experience to a whole other level. And of course, this breakfast was like, naturally, like they did the same thing there. You walk in, they have old timey carolers singing as you walk in. That's just what they're doing. Like they're just singing up on the side. They've got this huge like banquet hall set down with like all sorts of food and everything like that. And it was pretty over the top. It was like, this is just a breakfast. Like, what? We didn't need to go this hard. Like, oh my gosh.
But it's a breakfast with Johnny Morris. Of course,
I know. What are you talking about? And so they did a talk. It was for like a Chamber of Commerce there, and so they were doing a talk, and then the lady in charge of like, what is it, marketing and relations or whatever, got up to talk about Bass Pro. And here's the stat that she led with. And
oh boy.
Okay, like
let's go.
And I just wanted, remember, Bass Pro Shop sells hunting gear and equipment, right? Fly rods, fishing stuff, hunting. Okay, great.
They sell outdoorsy things.
Outdoorsy stuff.
Yeah.
She leads with, well, this Christmas season, we are excited that we will have by December 31st, we will have captured over 2 million photos with Santa across the country. And okay. I went, what? Like an outdoor store, right? That's their lead in with like the impact that they're making on their community of like, and that's just people who scheduled a time to take a photo with Santa. 2 million people will have gotten a photo with Santa because they went into a Bass Pro Shop.
Like I say, but at Bass Pro Shop. That means over 2 million people have been in a Bass Pro Shop.
Yes. Right. Because that's just photos. That's not talking about like the family members that were there and like all of this stuff. And I just kind of sat back in my seat and was like, are you kidding me? Like and she didn't talk about any sort of sales or anything like that. That's not what she was doing. She's the marketing, obviously, so this is the kind of numbers that she digs with. But I'm like, from selling fishing gear to now like they're touting 2 million photos with Santa. I was like, that's quite a change in a company over the years.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you think about it, right? Also, that's 2 million children that have had a positive experience in the Bass Pro Shop.
You
see?
Yes.
See, that's 2 million future or current Bass Pro Shop customers.
And so
if they came with a parent, if they just came with one parent, that's 4 million bodies. In a Bass Pro Shop. If they came with 2 parents, it's 6 million people in a Bass Pro Shop. Yes, grandpa also came.
Right.
This explodes exponentially very quickly.
Exactly. And so then you're really like, right, like this is sure it's this goodwill thing and whatever, but like this is really where we're serious number crunchers. Okay, this is a big business, right? They bought Cabela's, they bought their competitor, and we're like, whatever. Anyway,
just like straight up bottom. Like, anyway, get out of the way.
Like, hey, this is a big time business. They're launching 10 new stores next year. They have serious number crunchers, right? They sat down and they said, right, our profits allow us to do this kind of thing, or maybe this goes underneath the marketing budget. And so we can pay for this kind of thing. And it still makes sense for us to do this, right? This is this goodwill that it gives people the fuzzy feelings, positive experience, bringing people into stores. However they have it phrased, like number crunchers sat down and looked at this and went, yes, 2 million photos with Santa is good for business. And when
how could it not be?
I know,
right? That's
exactly.
what I'm
exactly. And it fits so well with like a lot of other. They're very family centric and they're very, like it fits with their brand as well. True. So it's just like yet another thing of like of when you think about things that you do in your life, there are things that are going to have this like, I can see a direct tie-in here or here. There are other things that are going to be more either positive in your life that might not have that direct or immediate tie-in, but are still really beneficial for you. And so she was talking about this, and then she was talking about their they have a conservation fund now, and last year they granted out $8.6 million for grants for conservation efforts across North America, and they paid for a $350,000 bridge apparently in Springfield, and they bought Fellows Lake was like, man, we really wish we had more people coming to see us and use us. That sure would be great if we have some boats. And so Bass Pro bought them like not just like boats, but also like the dock that the boats go on and all this boat stuff.
Accessories,
including the dock. Right, exactly.
Yeah. Did they revamp that marina up there? Because it needs a little bit of
that's what I was talking about. I think they helped spruce up the marina with some things like that and gave them some more boats and whatever. So it was just a like kind of sitting and listening to the presentation, being like, that's kind of that's cool, big helping people and big stuff to get done, and it's still weird, like it's still a weird it's such a weird approach to selling a flannel. Like I keep coming back to that. Like
that is true.
Like it's if someone and obviously it's such a weird approach because nobody else really does it the way they do it. It's like, no, that's what we do to sell a flannel. Let me tell you about a 4-story waterfall. Okay, no, track with me.
That's true, but it is the experience. Like I tangentially related to this on you've seen a lot more just like in the media and like social media and stuff, like the classic Bass Pro hat.
Oh,
it's like quite prolific, right?
Yeah.
Like people just buy that thing. It's like the cheapest thing in the whole store, right? Is that hat. And like it's just a hat with a patch on it.
Yeah.
Boom. But like again, it's right there. It's a positive thing, blah, 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 right? You're just like creating more things. You see it's like ubiquitous, right? You see it all over the place. Right. It's interesting. Right.
Yeah, how it really changed from a store to a cultural thing.
Yeah.
That's
I
and
think so.
that's the difference that was really made there.
Yeah. It's kind of a wild.
Yeah. It is wild to sit there thinking of like, again, like we're in this they have this whole we were in this whole other side building over by the main store, and it's like this massive like convention hall building.
Oh yeah,
thing,
okay, yeah.
right, their education center over there
Yes.
behind Wonders of Wildlife, and like the room we were in, I was just like, what? Again, how many flannels did it take to pay for this? Because this is crazy. Like,
A lot.
wow.
A lot.
So
A lot.
again, it was a fun experience, and then they had Santa there singing blues songs, and that was quite interesting. But yeah. So yeah, and I sat down next to somebody, and of course, what do you do? And he was he retired from the Springfield Police Department like 5 years ago, and then they came back and asked him to come back. So now he's back as a police officer.
Oh.
And so that was a fascinating conversation. But I was like, well, tell me about the police force in Springfield over the last 30 years, because that's what I need to know that right now.
You didn't lead with. So, what are your thoughts on Susie Streeter? Right? Tell me. Like,
no,
what's up?
I didn't ask about Susie Streeter.
Come on, we're gonna have to do an episode about this. This is important. We're gonna have to.
Okay. Well, that'll be. You know what we haven't done? Maybe we'll put this on the list. We need to put top conspiracy theories.
There you go.
Yes,
there you go.
Of our lives. So
this goes into Springfield history.
That's this is Springfield history. I'll add a link on the show.
Do a retrospective. We should pencil that in for next August.
Okay. Do.
Because that would be the anniversary time, I think, right? It's summertime, yeah.
Break that. Was that? Yeah, well, it was June, right? I think
it was June? Was it June? Okay.
Yeah. That's when it began, when they filed that. Anyway, yeah.
All right. We're getting ahead of ourselves. So stay tuned for June.
Stay tuned for June. Aha. Most ambitious plan we've ever had of how to make this work. So, yes, no, I was just like, yeah, tell me about that and stuff and things and how does it work and what's been the biggest change. And I was also trying to not be too negative of like, I didn't want him to start talking about terrible things, which is,
it's also true. Right?
It's also hard because I was like, oh man, what's some of the biggest changes you've had? That he was like, oh, when I first started, if somebody had a gun on them, it was really weird. And we'd call in like extra support. And now just everybody we talk to has one on them. And so it's just become really commonplace, and it's not even that big of a deal now when we like pull somebody over and they have one. It's just like, okay, like that's just part of this.
That is awkward.
Right. And then he started talking about like mental health issues, and I was like, well, anyway, Christmas is here.
That's true.
I just want to eat my eggs. Never mind. So, no, I let him finish, but I was like, okay, wow. Like, yeah, that was, I should have asked something different.
It's true. Yeah.
I mean, next time I'll remember. So, but yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, we rounded it off with some more, we do. Yeah, no, that was pretty much it. We thought we had we thought we were invited to something yesterday, and because somebody had mentioned it a couple months ago, like, oh yeah, we're doing this coffee and connections thing, and so we like had it on our calendar. We showed up to the place. There was nobody there.
Oh.
And we cannot find where this went wrong. Like both Megan and I are like, where did we hear this? Did we just make this up whole cloth? Because it's been on our calendar for like months. And we talked to the people at the building and they were like, no, no, we've never heard of that. But we're both like so certain that like several months ago, somebody was like, oh, and coming up this weekend in December, this weekend in December, we're going to be doing a coffee and connections at such and such place. See you there for a great time. And we were like, okay, great. We both of us have this like memory of, or like knowing about it. But apparently this was a fugue state that we were in at the time. And
it could have just been like somebody's like, yeah, we're going to do this. And then we're like, actually, plans just, they're like, we don't have time for that. Like, gonna...
That's what I think. What I'm thinking has happened is they announced it one time and then they got into putting it together, or they just never made official announcement on a calendar or on Facebook or their website. And so they just quietly disappeared. But there were us. There were.
Yes. You latched onto that thing. And it was
ready to go. So.
True. Well, whatever. Did you just get some coffee on your way there? Like,
no, I just had coffee at home.
Oh, okay. Perfect. That's really weird.
We did survive.
Okay, I'm glad that it wasn't like no one was plotting to like kidnap you or anything like that.
No, right. We didn't show up and like someone tried to put a cage over us or something. Okay. Yeah, no, nothing like that. It was just, we showed up and we're like, well, anyway, back to what
you walk in and there's like a big box with a stick and a string going around the corner. Business card in the middle. Coffee, like, oh, let me just go. Got him. Like,
I guess I need to. It happen. Works every time. Oh my gosh. Oh. Oh. But yeah, we're recovering still, and getting ready for more fun coming up. That's for sure.
Well, all right. So,
trying to sleep while I can.
Yeah, it's important.
Oh, real quick. I know I'm kind of wrapping up here, but other random things that I have found in our town. We're like perusing Facebook and we see this post, and I'm going to say this name, and I want.
Oh no!
Okay. Ready? Like, okay.
No.
So I am scrolling. And I see that there's a community Christmas concert coming up. Wonder free admission, 2:00, such, sponsored by blah. And who is the Christmas concert being put on by? Well, I'm glad you asked. If I say the name Dino, does this ring a bell for you?
Dino? No. I get Flintstones.
Okay.
Right? I get.
Oh man. So what maybe so there is a guy in Branson who's a piano player named Dino, and he would always let me put his picture in the he's a pianist, and he always puts on big shows. He has big Christmas concert. He always wore those big robes, and white piano kind of stuff. Very is a classically trained guy that I puts on these big productions in Branson.
Okay, that picture is familiar.
Okay.
I didn't have a name to go with this, but okay. Seeing this,
yes.
Okay, I've seen this person on a billboard before.
Okay, there we go. Got it. See,
got it.
That's called. That's called brand marketing, so it worked.
Yeah, true, right? Like,
so like all of a sudden, Megan was like reading the name, and I was like, Dino, and she was like, "You've heard of this guy?" And I was like, Dino. I'm like, yeah, he plays piano in Branson, and she was like, "Oh, that explains a lot."
He's apparently extraordinarily Greek, right? That's if you look at his last name here. This is.
I'm not even going to try.
I'm not even going to try either.
Nope. So no. Anyway. So yeah, all of a sudden, like this, like kind of obscure guy who's making a name for himself and has made a name for himself for over 30 years, whatever, in Branson, is now like coming to our little town for a little free Christmas concert. He's a little weird, a little interesting. He's been this this is a terrible nickname, but this really fits. Okay.
Oh no.
Okay. Okay. His technique has been described as fluid and brilliant, and has even been termed the Christian Liberace because of his flair, costumes, pianos, and jewelry.
I don't know how to feel about that particular. Like there's a lot of shots fired at Liberace just for no reason, right? Like I feel like that's listen. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I don't understand. Now here is a follow-up question that I have some questions here. That's good. Good job making that link broken, guys. That's helpful. What is Dino affiliated with this Dino's Cake company in Branson? Does he also make it? Or is this okay?
Yes,
so it's the same guy. Okay.
Yes.
I was trying to figure out if there's no good like actual like the website is not right, but
yeah,
like apparently he's also affiliated with Dino's 24 karat cakes.
Yep.
Which the website link is bad here as well. So like I don't know.
Weird.
People,
yes, but no, I
figure this out.
So yes, he not only does he play the piano in this like flamboyant style, but also he has a cake shop that is apparently, as I'm reading here, a major supplier to Neiman Marcus.
What?
Yes, Neiman Marcus sells Dino cakes.
What? Okay, hold on. What?
There you go.
What?
How's this for a rabbit hole?
That is, my brain is shutting down right now. How in the world does pianist turn confectioner have sales with Neiman?
You can buy it right now. You can buy Dino's 24 karat carrot cake from NeimanMarcus.com right now.
I don't.
Huh.
What?
Yes.
I don't
it's
understand.
Amazing.
What in the world?
Oh no! This one is sold out. I'm so sorry.
Oh no. Oh no! Whatever will I do? Not being able to buy a cake.
So weird. It's $85.
Well, I mean, is that just because it's being sold at Neiman Marcus? Because at the Branson Dino's Cake and Coffee, formerly known as Dino's 24 Karat Cake Company.
Oh.
Now it's Dino's Cake and Coffee. The prices, well, from this website that appears to not be good, they don't appear to be $85 at all. So
okay. That could just be Neiman Marcus markup.
Maybe that's just the 24 karat cake.
Oh,
right?
that's
maybe that's like the special.
Yes.
The specialty one.
Fair.
Yes.
Okay.
This is I am so confused right now.
Right. So, but look, it's a value add. While you're playing the piano, you can eat a carrot cake. It totally makes sense. I think.
Does it?
No, it doesn't.
Those go together.
Never mind. Fine. So yeah, this is welcome to what happened to my brain yesterday whenever we learned about this concert.
My goodness. This is wow. That's crazy. I don't
call that investigative journalism and reporting right there.
It's
Also,
something, I
also,
guess.
it's really weird. It's really weird.
It is really weird, right? This is, this is a strange connection that I was not. I'm having trouble processing this live here. I don't understand.
Well, maybe you can give more thoughts.
Probably.
Maybe you had time to come down from this.
I feel like I don't know.
Yeah.
That's very confusing. Wow. Okay. Wow. I don't.
Maybe to help you come down from this, I can read you a haiku.
Please do.
So last time I told a story of the adventure that I went on of Collin.
Yes.
And so I wrote haiku about heights. Okay.
Okay.
So in the sky so high, heart races, fear meets delight. Zipline through the light.
All right. Sound a little unsure about the last line.
Well, it's not a strong one because it's like ziplining through, but it has to rhyme. So like I had light and delight. So anyway, but yes.
Oh, it doesn't have to rhyme. Haikus don't have to rhyme.
Well, I liked it.
Okay, that's fine. That's fair.
Hopping. Sorry.
That's all right.
So that's
a good one.
That one. That's that one. Yep. Races meet delight because it was fun. Zipline. So now you get to write a haiku about Dino Piano Carrot Cake.
Oh boy. Okay, I'll see what we can come up with.
Hey, Collin Throne. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
Love you.
Me too.
Bye.
Bye.